Hola guys and girls, and welcome to a new Digimon TCG 1.5 deck profile video, and this time we are going to look at my variant of Green Ceresmon Control. As you can see on screen already, as the name suggests, Ceresmon is the main boss of the deck. As you can see, it has the effect Decklist option free, so once you suspend one of the other Digimon, you can Digivolve by only 2 memory costs instead of 5. And has the effect, once per turn when suspending for Decklist option skill, you may suspend one of your opponent's Digimon instead. So what this deck basically is about, and what the whole control aspect of the deck is, that you get a Ceresmon on the board, you keep suspending the opposing Digimon due to your other Decklist option mons, and then fight into them, kill them, and with that be in control of the board, and basically making sure that the opponent never gets anything substantial on the board itself. You keep developing your own board, and keep chipping at your opponent with your strong Digimon, and yeah, just make sure that the opponent never gets anything on the board really, which could be threatening to you, by getting to Ceresmon as fast as possible, and then keep killing whatever they play. So that's how the deck basically works. So what we are going to try is, of course, put Ceresmon, get to as fast as possible to Ceresmon, and then have a bunch of Decklist option mons to keep being able to suspend Digimon every single turn. But so let me show you how the deck is built, and let's start from the bottom, of course, which is with our Tamers, and there we play 4 times the Agumon baby Tamer, which has the inheritable effect: when this Digimon becomes unsuspended during your unsuspend phase, gain 1 memory. So that of course works for once. When we Digizorb a mon, which has an Agumon on the bottom, it's suspended, it will become unsuspended, you gain a memory, and of course with all your Digimon you attack with, they are suspended as well, and then will get desuspended and you get additional memory. So it works very well in this kind of deck, in which we basically always have some kind of suspended Digimon on our side of the field. And of course it can be removed if it's suspended, but if you're in control of the board, it's very easy to have multiple of these on the board, and just be sure to be able to get to 5 memory together with a free cost Tamer and stuff like that. So this is our Tamer of choice. Another good Tamer, so some people like to trade races around, is the Minomon, of course, which has inheritable effect. When attacking, if you attack one of your opponent's Digimon, the Digimon gets plus 1000 DP. So it makes sure that the Digimon are always strong enough to fight over Digimon, which is important as well in this kind of deck, because like I said, we want to control the board by suspending opposing Digimon and then fight into them. So this is a great inheritable ability for that as well. And then it's kind of up to personal taste, and especially the other Digimon, how you want to put your ratios of these. Some like to play a 2-3 ratio, some like 4 Minomon, only 1 Agumon. But in my experience, it mainly depends on what you play in your higher level slots. Because if you have a lot of inheritables which boost your power in like your level 5 and level 5 slot, then you don't need as many Minomon. If you have inheritables which gain you memory by fighting, for example the Stingmon and the Okuvamon, then you don't need as many Agumon. So like I said, that's like, you need to kind of check what kind of level 4s and level 5 you want to play, and then adjust your Tamers accordingly. As you can see, since I play 4 Agumon, I will mainly have DP boosting inheritables on my level 4 and level 5 Digimon. So once you see them, and of course rookies as well. But yeah, these are my Tamers. Now going on to the rookies. Of course, the one rookie which is the best one in green, which you want to play 4 times, is the Agumon. Just straight up for 1000 boost on your turn. Very nice, but just to make sure that you get over with your Ceresmon, for example, get onto the 13k, which is usually the target you want to be at, to be able to remove close to everything the opponent could have on the board, barring stuff like Ragnarok, Millenniummon, like all the level 7 Digimon. But every level 6 Digimon will die once you fight into that on your turn. So having this 1 plus 1000 boost can be very clutch onto your Ceresmon, so that's why you play 4 of them. And of course it's nice on every other Digimon as well. Then we do play a lot of 2-cost rookies, and the reason for that is very simple, because we do want to be able to play a rookie for 2 cost, Digizorb it right away, and then for example with Ceresmon, reduce the cost by 3. So if you play a 2-cost rookie but use it to reduce the cost by 3, we essentially gain 1 memory, or like save 1 memory, better said. So that's why we want to play a lot of 2-cost rookies, and for that we do have 6 of the standard 2-cost rookies, which are like the Agumon and Goblimon. They all are the same 2-cost, 0 to cost 3000 DP, no inheritable effect. The ratio there doesn't really matter. Like, I like to play 4 Agumon because I think Agumon is cooler than Goblimon. That's basically the only reason why I play 4 Agumon, only 2 Goblimon. But you can adjust that to like 3-3, 4 Goblimon, 2 Agumon. That's just, it doesn't really matter there. But I play 6 of those in total, and then 2 additional 2-cost rookies I play. are the two, I don't really know how to pronounce it, let me read it again, Auroramons, which are 5000 TP, but of course have the detriment that they cost 2 to Digivolve. But why I like those over like 2 additional Goblimons, as you can see I only played 2 Goblimon total, I swapped 2 Goblimon for 2 of those, is because of the reason I just mentioned. You want to play these hard for 2 costs. Obviously you don't want to Digivolve into them for 2 costs, because that's just not worth it. You want to hard play them and then Digivolve them right away to Digivolve into something for cheap. And of course having 5000 DP is more difficult, significantly more difficult to get rid of than having a 3000 DP Digimon suspended. So yeah, there's a lot of level 4 Digimon in some decks and rookies for sure, which can't kill this. You need to get to level 5 or like have strong level 4s to actually kill Auroramon. So yeah, it's not as bad to have an Auroramon suspended than one of the weaker Digimon. That's basically the main reason. But I noticed that if I put too many of these in the deck, there are a lot of scenarios in which I have to, or I not have to, I don't have any other rookie in hand, and I want to get a free draw, so I want to Digivolve into that for 2 costs. So that's why I only go with 2. But depending on your personal taste, you can put more onto these, or even just skip them total and go full on with 4 Goblimons. Like I said, I like to have the 2 because the 5000 TP is just very nice for the opponent. It makes it very hard for the opponent sometimes to just get rid of that for free. But yeah, that's Auroramon for you. And then last, we do play 3 more rookies, which are we play 3 times the Tentomon, which gives us a total of 15 rookies in this deck, which is a high amount, but like I said, we do want a high amount of Digimon in total. We do want to fill the board consistently and evolve them cheap, get the card draw going, and of course that all starts with rookies, so we do want to have enough of them in hand. They have this, the nice inheritable fact that we get to suspend a Digimon with 3000 TP or less. So if the opponent spreads too wide before we get to Ceresmon, we can start picking off multiple Digimon in one turn by suspending one with Ceresmon, suspending one with that, suspending one with other stuff. And yeah, just make sure to be always in control of the board. Tentomon helps in that regard as well, but not as crucial as the Agumon, and not as helpful in general than the 2-cost rookies. That's why I only play 3 of them. But yeah, that's Tentomon for you. Now with the level 4s. Of course, Green has the one benefit that it has very cheap evolution costs, and so we do want to play a lot of the level 1, or not level 1 memory level 4s, and we do start off with Vegemon, which yeah, has no inheritable effect, but has only the 1-cost evolution and only 4 hard costs, which is very cheap, and it has the high 6000 TP stat. So for a similar reason than we like to play the Auroramon is if this is suspended, it's very hard to get rid of. So this is one of the level 4s you do not mind Digisorbing for your other Digimon, so very straightforward. That's why we play Vegemon. We play a total of 13 level 4s. And yeah, 3 times, but in this kind of deck I have only fit 3 of them in. You could definitely bump that up to 4 if you want, or if you think, okay, I'd rather have cool inheritable effects on my Digimon, you can skip that as well. I just like the high DP stat, especially with boosts like the Agumon. I get to 7000 DP, so I can very easily use that to get rid of weaker levels 5 or level 4 Digimon for free once they are suspended. So having the high DP stat is there very nice. That's why we play 3 Vegemon. Then for the inheritable effect, we play 3 Gargomon, which have of course the inheritable effect that you get plus 1000 DP for each of your suspended opponent's Digimon. So you get 1 boost very easily, you get to plus 1000 boost. It does have the same inheritable effect as the Kabuterimon from BT1. The only difference is the Kabuterimon costs 1 more hard play cost, but does have 1 plus 1000 more DP. I decided to go with Gargomon because the hard play cost, I think, is, for me personally, it's more important than having more DP, because of the inheritable, this is a Digimon you want to evolve over very quickly either way. So it's not something you leave vulnerable on the board. This is the one you want to get your level 5 Digimon over to get the inheritable going. And if you have 4000 or 5000 TP, it's not that relevant. It's relevant for Volcanic Dramon potentially, since of course that Volcanic Dramon kills Gargomon but doesn't kill Kabuterimon. Alter S kills both of them. The main reason I play this over Kabuterimon is for the hard play cost, but that definitely depends on what you are facing a lot in your local meta or whatever. Maybe you want Kabuterimon instead of those, but you definitely do want some Digimon which gives you this effect. Especially since we don't have that many Minomons in the baby slot, we do want to have all these DP boosting effects. We want to make sure they have at least 1 DP boosting effect on our level 6 Digimon, be it with Minomon, be it with Gargomon, be it with Agumon, or be it with later on with in the level 5 slot. Potentially even more of them to be able to get rid of higher powered Digimon. And yeah, that's Gargomon for you, very straightforward. Just make sure that your Digimons are on the higher level strong enough to kill your opponent's board. Then of course, we do, like I said, we are Digisorption deck. We do want to always have at least one Digisorption card in hand to make sure to proc our Ceresmon. And that's why I do play 3 times the level 4 Argomon, which is very easily, very easy name. It's a free Digivolve essentially, since Digisorption -2 with only 2 costs, you can evolve into that for free. That's only a 5000 DP sadly, but yeah, this is only there to no inheritable as well, but this is there that with Ceresmon we do have always, in each level we have Digisorption Digimon, so we can make sure to trigger the secondary effect right here to suspend opponent's Digimon and control the board, because like I already said, this is a control deck, you want to be able to control the board, that is the main reason to play Ceresmon. And yeah, that's why we do play 3 Argomon, and then that's definitely a meta call. What you're facing, if you're facing more aggressive decks or more slow-paced decks, but I do play 4 times the blocker, because in my local area there are a lot of aggressive decks around, so I do want to play 4 times the blocker. If you face less, like Rookie Russians alike decks, you can definitely swap these out for more of Gargomon, I would probably swap them out for, or maybe more Vegemon, stuff like that. But I like to have 4 of the blockers because for one, they have a high DP stat as well, so if they are suspended, since you had to Digisorb them or you wanted to Digisorb them, they still have a strong body on the field which the opponent will have trouble getting rid of, like more easily than like a 5000 or 4000 DP mon he might have to trade into that potentially. And of course, it gives you a little bit of defense, but yeah, with just versus aggressive decks being able to stop them early on in the game before you get into your Ceresmon and start controlling the board. It buys you the necessary time. That's why I decided to go with 4 blockers, but like I said, you can probably cut it down to 3 potentially, depending on what you're facing. I like having 4 in my deck. But yeah, these are the level 4s. Now we're going on with level 5 Digimon, and of course what we do need is more Digisorption, so I start with the more important ones first, which you probably won't skip, which are 4 Blossomon and 1 Argomon. Of course only 1 Argomon, because that's a limited card, we cannot play more of them in the deck. They both have Digisorption free, so they can be Digivolved for free into them. They have free evolution cost here. Blossomon no inheritable, but very nice 7000 DP stat, which makes sure that with some boosts from Argomon and stuff like that, they can basically trade with any level 5 out there. And then the Argomon, which has a great inheritable effect, with when attacking you may play 1 level 3 green Digimon from your hand suspended. So it just helps you fill up the board. So yeah, it's basically a better Blossomon. But since we can only play 1 of them, we play 4 Blossomon, so we have 5 level 5 Digisorption in total. Like I said, to make sure that we can always Digisorb to suspend with the Ceresmon. And then our other 5, so we play 10 level 5s in total. The other 5 5s are 3 Rapidmons, as we can see right here, which makes sure, like I said, we want to have potential boosts on every level, so we can make sure that our Ceresmon and other level 6 always have at least 1 boosting Digimon under them. Let's say I play 3 Rapidmon. Rapidmon is pretty nice as well, it only has 6 hard play costs, which is more on the cheaper side for level 5 Digimon. That's why I like to play 3 of them, and the other 2 level 5 we have are the 2 Lilymon. I like Lilymon for the suspend effect because even though we do play a lot of Digisorption mons, sometimes you are not gonna have them in your hand. It's just gonna happen. You have to see yeah, just gonna happen. And then with Lilymon we have a nice secondary way to suspend Digimon by just, yeah, by attacking we can suspend a Digimon without blocker and then start controlling the board that way. It does have 7 hard play costs, that's the main reason I go with a 3-2 split. But this is like, I think these 5 are non-negotiable. In Ceresmon you're gonna play these 5. But in the other level 5s that you can can change stuff a little bit more around to personal taste. Like I said, I like to go with a 3-2 split of Lilymon and Rapidmon. Other options there, of course, are the Okuvamon, which gives you memory when fighting, or Cherrymon if you need more blockers potentially and you don't want to play Woodmon in your level 4 slot. And don't really know what else you could play there. But yeah, like I said, Green has, with 1.5, has a lot of options to go. Like even in our level 5 slot, we can play Stingmon potentially where if you want to gain memory. But yeah, like I said, I play the Argomons for memory. I don't think I need Stingmons that in the deck for me. But yeah, this is my level 5 lineup, 10 there in total. Then for level 6, you already saw them, non-negotiable as well in this kind of deck, which is for Ceresmon. It's the main reason we played this deck, because Ceresmon is pretty busted if you have enough, if you Digivolve into that early and have enough Digisorption mons in your hand, you can just, like I said, control the board and slowly but slowly chip at the opponent's security with your strong Digimon, which will have boosts due to the Argomons and suspended Digimon the opponent has. So we play 4 Ceresmon there, not too much to talk about there. Then for the other level 6, we do play 4 there in total, so we have 8 level 6 Digimon, which is on the higher side of things. But with Green, you want to have strong Digimon, you want to draw a lot due to evolving. So that's the reason we play lots of them there. And there you have a lot of options as well. You can play Titamon for very cheap and strong Digimon. You can play Bunch of Stingmon. You can play the level 6 Agumon. You can play Mega Gargomon. There's a lot of options you can put there. I decided to go with a 2-2 split of Bunch of Stingmon and the Agumon. Agumon for one is another Digizoptionmon, which helps us in that regard. In addition to Ceresmon can get us a lot of extra security attacks because it has the effect that on your turn you gain +1 security attack for each other suspended mon you have. So if you have if you attack with your other Digimon first or have them Digisorbed, this thing can easily get to 3 or 4 security checks. 11k is not very strong within the DP side of things, but that's why we play a lot of Digimon which give us boosts like the Rapidmon, the Gargomon, the Agumon, stuff like that. So it can very easily reach the crucial 13k point as well, which makes it rather safe to attack with that into the security. And then we play Bunch of Stingmon, because Bunch of Stingmon it's very matchup dependent. I have to say, like in some matchups it does nothing, for example with Shine Greymon, because as you can see it has piercing, and when attacking effect, if you attack a Digimon that has 12 DP or total more, it gets plus 7000 DP and security attack +2. So then it has 16k plus potential more boosts and checks 3 securities and has piercing. So it's very OP if you get to attack a Digimon that has 12 DP or more, which, as I mentioned, in Shine Greymon basically never happens because they play Slash Agumon and Shine, they're all too weak. So this is a bad card in that matchup. But in a lot of other matchups, this card can win games on your own. It kills Omnimons, it kills Phoenixmons. In a mirror match, it kills Ceresmons. In the matchup versus Imperialdramon, it kills the Imperialdramons, which have 12 KTP. So that in some matchups, this card just wins games on your own. That's why I decided to play 2 of them to, in those matchups, to be more likely to get one of those in hand. The Agumon is more universally strong. This is more like either it hits super hard or it does nothing. This is like the stuff of Bunch of Stingmon. So you can definitely, like I said, adjust ratios in that regard. You can play less Bunch of Stingmon or even potentially more if your local metagame is very dominant with other decks than Shine Greymon, for example. In Rookie Rush, for example, the piercing is nice. But with Rookie Rush, you most likely want to have the Agumon to have a lot of security checks going. So yeah, these are my secondary level 6 lineup. Like I said, this is where I can play around with as well, depending on what you are facing in your area. Then next up, our option cards. Very straightforward. We have one option card, which is Hidden Potential Discovered. We can only play one of those, since it's limited as well. Just make sure that it can Digivolve into one of our mons for free, which is very nice because having the additional memory, for example, and giving this Bunch of Stingmon for free, for example, can surprise the opponent very easily. And yeah, it's a great card. I would love to play more of those, but yeah, we are limited to one. With more of, I think, due to this card is the reason Mega Gargomon is so prominent as in the level 6 slot. I didn't have much success with it. I don't think it's good anymore, since we don't have that many hidden potential discovered. I think the Agumon and the Bunch of Stingmon and potentially even Titamon are better fits for the deck. But yeah, maybe I just made the wrong experience with this card. But with Mega Gargomon, I think with more hidden potential discovered, Mega Gargomon will definitely be better, since you can Digivolve into that and then still attack and stuff like that. But yeah, hidden potential discovered is our one option card. And then for Tamers, we do play 3 Mimis in total, because having the free memory at the start of your turn is very nice, and of course pumping out your Digi apps by just having additional breeding phases is very nice. It's very easy in this deck to have a level 5 or higher green Digimon on the field, since we play that many, and just being able to pump out the babies, which have most likely the inheritable of Agumon, which you can then suspend for Digisorption and stuff like that, and then get memory the next turn, is just super strong. And the free memory at the start of the turn is super crucial, because that allows you to play guaranteed Ceresmon with the Digisorption and then still attack with that in the same turn. And same with, of course, our Bunch of Stingmon, play it and attack in the same turn to surprise the opponent. Because if you have to play a Bunch of Stingmon and you give initiative to the opponent because you're over 0 memory, he's not gonna play his Omnimon. He's not. Omnimon he might play, but he's not gonna play his 12k Digimon if you have a Bunch of Stingmon sitting there, and he won't attack with that for sure. But if you have a level 500 Digimon, like just have a Lilymon sitting there, and then it's more likely that he attacks me, then next turn it's my turn, boom, Bunch of Stingmon, boom, I attack, it's gone, I check all of the security, and then in most games it's GG with that. But yeah, that is my total game lineup of my Ceresmon Control list. Of course, let me know in the comments what you think about the deck, what would you change. With 1.5, green is a very exciting color because you have a lot of options. suddenly you have lots of options on the level 4 distributions. What do you want to play there? What do you want to play in level 5 slots? So it's a lot of deck building options you can do. You can adjust your deck according to the meta or according to personal taste. So yeah, if you enjoy deck building, green is definitely a pretty cool color to play currently, because there's a lot of options for you in green. But yeah, that's enough for me. If you did enjoy the video, of course, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and a little deal. Hit me up on Twitter, Facebook, all the links in the description, and I will see you now time. Ciao.